It's a very modern reflection of the world. Our characters are really diverse, our cast is really diverse, and that's one of the things that excited me the most about it.
Welp, it looks like the blue and green-haired social justice freaks are mainstream again. And this time, they're here for your Japanese cartoons.
That's the sweat of the blues explosion. That's the sweat of the blues explosion. That's the sweat. I wanna, yeah!
Hey everyone, John Smith here, and I never thought in the entire lifetime of my YouTube channel that I would ever cover any topic dealing with the much dreaded pop culture feminism. I thought this stuff died off in 2016, but yet, here we are. I'm not talking about feminists who actually stand for making a political difference in the world. I'm talking about feminists who believe that men are ruining video games, and manspreading and microaggressions are actual problems serious people should consider in the year of 2018. This is important since Crunchyroll, a popular anime streaming service, is currently trying to pride itself in working with a studio that has a women's-only writing staff. Of course, there isn't anything wrong with this by itself. The problem is that Elation Studios, the studio behind Crunchyroll's upcoming show High Guardian Spice, portrays itself on being a forward-thinking studio that champions diversity and inclusiveness. I realize I might be a little late to this trend, considering the many videos criticizing Crunchyroll's actions and reactions throughout this entire ordeal, but I did want to go over some of my main gripes just by the looks of this trailer. I know I can't say too much about this show because not much is actually known about it, but we do know that it's about 4 magical girls who were on a quest for something? It sounds like the studio wants a mix of Sailor Moon and Adventure Time, but this doesn't mesh well with their mission to distinguish themselves as diverse writers who want to accomplish something different. A story about young women going on adventures without much else is probably the least original premise anyone could possibly think of. Do you know how many pieces of media have used this premise? Here, I can name a couple for you. Sailor Moon, Monica Magica, Bee and Puppy Cat, Charlie's Angels, that Oceans movie no one saw. Hell, even the Bible featured some pretty interesting women. I could name more, but I think you understand now that women embarking on adventures is not a new or even interesting concept to audiences, and it's certainly not new within the realm of animation. I would be interested to figure out what distinguishes this show from others like it, but unfortunately, I can't find it at the moment. I also want to mention how desperate the producers of this show are by coupling this bland premise with an art style many contemporary cartoons have already used. While I realize every animator in 2018 wants to imitate the Adventure Time art style because it's quirky and sometimes edgy, you can't expect to sell a smash hit based on those features alone. Gravity Falls, for example, uses these features while delivering a strong story about the companionship of 2 siblings over the course of a summer. To give another example, the regular show uses the simplistic Adventure Time art style to create a light-hearted show that contains many dark undertones and messages. Both of these shows prove that it's so important to find a way to distinguish your story from others like it. High Guardian Spice, on the other hand, looks like it's going to utilize the Adventure Time art style while trying to distinguish itself superficially from other media like it. I understand being for diversity is a hip, ongoing trend seen at studios like Marvel and Disney, but selling their brands based on their all-women's writer staff is ultimately going to fail in the long run. Most anime fans, people who possess paid subscriptions to their service, are most likely not welcome to Crunchyroll's new endeavors when the website is still using Flash Player as their default video technology, which will definitely be defunct by the year of 2020. By the looks of this trailer, I don't really even think that they even understand what their fans really want. Perhaps they're trying to attract new markets? I'm not entirely sure. Conversely, I do think it's great that Crunchyroll wants to branch out and create content. For many years, Crunchyroll has served as one of the #1 websites for legal anime streaming and simulcasting on the internet. Now that Crunchyroll is owned by Elation Studios, which is owned by Otter Media, which is owned by AT&T, They have enough financial backing to venture into other endeavors besides anime streaming. While I might be open to the idea of Crunchyroll's new ventures, many will not be, and it's important for them to understand this dilemma. One of the main things that has irked me about this that hasn't been mentioned in other videos about this topic is that Crunchyroll views itself as a forward-thinking and innovative organization. Of course, this premise falls terribly flat when faced with everything I mentioned before. I know there have been a lot of videos on here that have complained about feminism creeping into the anime industry. I don't really have much of a problem with that. People can make whatever political or societal statements they want in their works. But what I do have a huge problem with is dishonesty. Crunchyroll is touting a superficial support for feminism here, which represents feminism in an even worse light than in much of modern media today. This move really does perpetuate the stereotype that feminism is really just this stupid cult where there are only blue-haired spurgs and they all want to let you know that it's bad to play video games like Grand Theft Auto. This proves how Crunchyroll's actions here are adverse to their goals they are attempting to promote. You want to create content that promotes feminist values? Look at Persepolis, a story about a woman living in early 1980s Iran who escapes to France to live a secular life after the Islamist takeover. Or look at Miyazaki's movies, which feature prominent young women who grow to be confident in themselves. Or look at Wonder Woman, the feminist role model of all comic books. These are gripping works that promote feminism without ever having to mention it once to their audiences. Their audiences understand these concepts naturally. I want to like Crunchyroll as a company, but I understand why people don't take this company seriously anymore. To be very honest, Crunchyroll, I'm trying to help you out here. I know you're in a bit of a rut right now, considering your customers haven't been very kind to you, but you need to understand that if you want to represent a company that champions feminist values, you might want to show this in your content to prevent yourselves from looking like massive hypocrites. Making a show about magical girls in a dungeon is a superficial way to display your support for feminist ideals. It's fine to create anything you want, but if you're making cartoons with women protagonists and hosting all women's writing staff just to own the boomers, people will see through your schemes and your business will tank faster than Monday Matt's sub count. I'm John Smith, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Hit the road, the streets they calling.